When it comes to casual in Magic the Gathering, I consider it more of a mindset than a deck list. And I say this because you can certainly approach a Bracket 2 game competitively while also playing CEDH casually. And this obviously all starts with honesty during Rule 0 conversations, because the point of those conversations is to make sure that everybody is entering that game with their decks on a relatively even playing field. Yeah, this might be a little bit of an oversimplification of Rule 0 conversations because there's other elements involved, like proxies, the types of games people are looking to have in general. But if you're finding yourself playing with people who are constantly bogarting all the fun for themselves and never letting you have a piece of the pie, it's probably time to find a new group. And to understand this a little bit further, it's important to understand the archetypes. Aggro, mid-range, control. Those are the three broader, overarching archetypes in Magic the Gathering. And just like rock, paper, scissors, each one of those archetypes is generally better against another one, and they're also generally weaker against another one. Aggro generally beats control, control generally beats mid-range, and mid-range generally beats aggro. See how they all kind of interact with one another to achieve this balance? So if you're playing a mid-range deck and you're consistently getting beaten by control decks, that doesn't mean that the control decks are not casual, and it also doesn't mean that the control decks belong in an entirely different bracket. At the end of the day, the objective of the game is to win. Now, of course, the journey to your victory should be fun for everybody. However, that doesn't mean that you have to cater to everybody's preferences of what decks they do and don't like to play against. Players who dictate to others what they can play or not are not really casual players. They're crybabies. Because sometimes, some matchups are just not going to work out in your favor. Not to mention the other elements involved, like your decisions during the game, your opponent's decisions during the game, and of course just politics that happen. Oh yeah, and there's also a little bit of luck, which I have zero of. How casual a player truly is can really be measured by how they handle their wins, and more importantly, how they handle their losses. To reiterate though, this doesn't negate Rule 0 conversations and the importance of being honest during these conversations. You should always be forthcoming with what your deck does and the cards that you include in the deck list so that everybody has a fighting chance. But I am getting kind of sick of people hiding behind the term casual when it comes to this, because if you're truly casual, you don't care if you win or lose, and you don't care what other people play. So don't even get me started if you claim to be a casual player, yet dictate to others what they can and can't play.